So the Clean Energy Ministerial is a group of countries accounting for 75% of global greenhouse gas emissions, 90% of clean energy investment, all having agreed to work together to try to help each other implement clean energy policies at scale, to try to increase the speed of deployment of clean energy technologies that exist today. It's an effort that's been around for 7 years. We're hosting our 7th meeting in San Francisco, June 1st and 2nd. And we feel this is a particularly important opportunity for the Clean Energy Ministerial. It's had terrific successes over its first 7 years, but it can play an even stronger role to accelerate the global clean energy revolution. So ministers from all over the world will be coming together with private sector leaders, heads of international organizations, leaders from civil society, all grounded around how we can accelerate this clean energy revolution happening. How can we take the goals and the self-determined targets that were put on the table in the Paris COP context, how can we change those paper goals to reality, what's actually happening out in the real world? And that's the promise of the 7th Clean Energy Ministerial, June 1st and 2nd. So SEM7 in San Francisco on June 1st and 2nd represents a terrific opportunity to accelerate clean energy progress around the world. We've got ministers coming from all the big countries of the world and the most forward-leaning countries. Best response we've ever seen for any of our clean energy ministerials so far. And I think that's a real reflection of countries around the world and energy ministers in particular putting an emphasis on the clean energy revolution. They see it happening in their countries. They see the economic benefits that are happening in their countries, the energy access benefits happening in their countries, and they want to accelerate that in a way that works for their countries. They know they can learn from each other, and they know they can learn from private sector leaders, international organizations, and civil society as well. So SEM7 in San Francisco represents an opportunity for energy ministers themselves and other leaders in clean energy to come together to all help each other accelerate this clean energy revolution. One of the key areas the Clean Energy Ministerial has focused on for many years is energy productivity or energy efficiency. It represents a terrific opportunity to lower our greenhouse gas emissions, but also an opportunity to save money for our companies, for our businesses, and for our populations more generally. This year in particular at SEM7 in San Francisco, June 1st and 2nd, we're going to have some very exciting energy efficiency, energy productivity efforts that will be announced. We focused many years on industrial efficiency, how we can help our industries be more efficient. This year we'll elevate some of those efforts and really give them prominence. We've been focused on appliance efficiency for many years in the SEM. This year we'll have a particular focus on air conditioning efficiency, which offers huge greenhouse gas emission reductions at the same time of bringing higher quality, cool air to thousands and millions and billions around the world. We're seeing some incredibly exciting renewables opportunities and trends, not only in the United States, but in the whole world. Renewables costs have gone down, whether it's solar or wind or other parts of the renewables spectrum, including storage and mini-grids. And this is a real opportunity to accelerate those trends even further. The Clean Energy Ministerial has been focused on renewables for many years, and this year marks a particular opportunity to work with private sector, other government leaders to really accelerate renewables. One area that's particularly exciting to see is so many companies around the world stepping up and making commitments on renewables to source their data centers and other operations throughout the world. We're trying to encourage that even more and trying to give credit for some of those companies to step up to the plate. And as the largest group of countries around the world, there's a lot more we can do to have enabling environments to allow renewables penetration to occur even faster than it is right now. The clean energy revolution fundamentally depends on everyone doing their part and working together to try to accelerate it even further. Many national governments around the world have incredibly ambitious commitments that have been put on the table, but it doesn't start and end with national governments. National governments need to work with subnational leaders, whether provincial, state leaders, mayors throughout the world, but we also fundamentally need to work with the private sector. We need to encourage and incent private sector leadership to step up to the plate on the clean energy revolution side. We need to look at different public-private models to really accelerate the deployment of technologies around the world. We also need to work with civil society and international organizations and others who have a real expertise and a part to play. but only working together will we accelerate and truly accelerate the clean energy revolution.